Hey everybody, and welcome to Bader Gymnasium. It is the round of 16. Tom Lydon, Morgan Donahue, and Evan Cardamino with you. We are thrilled to be with you tonight to bring you this live MIAA playoff action. It's Northampton, the number 9 seed against the number 8 seed Westwood Wolverines. Guys, plenty to talk about. Should be a fantastic matchup. These two teams both coming in hot, coming in with a lot of confidence after wins in the previous round. Mackenzie Kaiser getting set to jump it up for the Wolverines. And we are underway at Bader Gymnasium. The winner advances to the round of 8. And Northampton on the board first to give that three-pointer to Emmy Collins, the sophomore.
Coach Cliff said there was 2 girls on the team that are sharpshooters. I'd imagine that's got to be one right there. Nothing but net on the first shot.
Northampton coming out in a man-to-man defense underneath to Charlotte Hurley from Caroline Nazalillo. Back out to Lizzie Weeman. The Wolverines working it around the perimeter. Nazalillo inside to Angelina Holmesy, who's going to get called for a travel.
So, Tom, last game, the Wolverines had 5 players in double digits. Nazalillo was one of them. Her best game of the season by far on offense.
Three-quarter court pressure by the Wolverines here, and it's Calkins who takes it over half court, gets it into the hands of Bree Heafy, the senior, who sets up the Northampton offense. And they're working against a zone defense for Westwood. From the foul line, that is the sophomore, Anna Oravec. And Northampton's jumped out to an early 4-0 lead. Charlotte Hurley working in the corner. Outside to Nazalillo. Force overturned by Liv Joensen, and Northampton's going to look to build on this early lead. Westwood now in a man-to-man defense. Goes over to Calkins on the left wing. Inside, defended by Kaiser. That ball out of bounds.
Play by Kaiser.
Stays with Northampton.
It's going to be a Westwood ball, I believe, Tom.
All right.
Great job by Kaiser. Jumped in on that player who was working the screen and just used her size to knock that ball loose.
6:34 to go here in the first quarter. Charlotte Hurley in the corner, working on some tight defense. Double team. That's going to be a jump ball. And it's going to stay with the Wolverines.
Northampton has a great defense getting here early on. They're getting hot. And, Westwood came out against Longmeadow, and they had a great offensive attack. It'll be interesting to see how Westwood adjusts here.
25 seconds to shoot for the Wolverines. Charlotte Hurley gets it to Holmesy. Back out to Hurley, who will launch from three-point range. Comes up a bit short. Run down by Kaiser, who cannot keep it in, and Northampton will take over.
The three-pointers were big for Westwood in that Longmeadow game. They got off to a hard start with, I believe, 2 Lizzie Weeman threes, and that's going to be key for Westwood here in this game.
She had 12 points, I believe, in the first quarter, all with threes.
I am going to check that first shot by Emma Calkins has officially been ruled a 2-pointer, so we're at 4-0 right now, Northampton on top. Bree Heafy, right wing, over to Tegan McDonald. McDonald inside again to the foul line, now swung out. That's going to be Bree Heafy.
Long.
And she comes up a bit long on that shot, corralled by Mackenzie Kaiser. We'll try to get things going in a positive direction for Westwood.
Kaiser, TVL All-Star for the Wolverines.
And Kaiser finishing it off with a layup to get the Wolverines on the board.
Big bucket. Get the crowd going here early. They're just looking for a reason to explode.
Good defensive pressure by Westwood, making it difficult for Northampton to get it across. The shot comes up short, doesn't hit anything, so Westwood will take over. 5:30 to go here in the first quarter.
Charlotte Hurley, honorable mention All-Star for the Wolverines. My opinion, she's a first-team All-Star in the TBL. Terrific season for the senior.
Hurley gets it to Angelina Holmesy on the left wing. That doesn't hit anything, and Northampton's going to come up with it. This is going to be Bree Heafy. And Northampton sets their offense. Heafy picks up the dribble, and Weeman descends on her defensively. Coach Messer calling out the plays from the Northampton bench. Calkins gets it back to Heafy. Heafy working on Weeman behind the back, into the trees, and a turnover force.
Holmesy, what a job with combining with Weeman knocking that ball loose. Wolverines going the other way.
Charlotte Hurley picks up her dribble and has Lizzie Weeman chase down the loose ball. The motion offense starts. It's going to be Nazalillo. Called for a travel. So 4:29 to go. Northampton up 4-2, and they've got possession.
teams getting acclimated here early on. Certainly the nerves on both teams to start. Just starting to get settled in now.
Northampton not afraid to shoot it from the outside. We're going to see another one right here. That one up and off the iron, rattles around, no good, but rebounded by Liv Joensen. She's going to get it right back outside of Calkins, who fires up another three-pointer, and that one is good. So Northampton takes a 7-2 lead.
Calkins, definitely a sharpshooter for Northampton.
And we've got another Northampton turnover here, but then the ball tied up, but that will go to the Blue Devils on the alternating possession.
Be interesting to see what Westwood does here defensively to adjust. You know, they had a great sharpshooter in Emerson Cage in the Longmeadow game that they had to adjust for. They changed their defense, they moved to more man-on-man coverage, and it ended up working out well for Westwood. Interesting to see what adjustments they make here.
The shot clock had to be adjusted. They had not reset it after that tied-up ball, so 35 seconds on the shot clock. 3:50 to play here in the first quarter. A slow start for the Wolverines. Down 5, 7-2 as we're just underway here at Bader Gymnasium. Outside shot, this time thrown up, and Emma Calkins draws some contact. The foul's going to go against Caroline Nazalillo. It's the first foul of the game.
Looks like she's shooting 2. Thought I saw 2. Madison Ward going to check in for the Wolverines. She had double figures the other night versus Longmeadow.
Calkins good on the first. They did give her 3 shots, so she was fouled on the three-pointer. Calkins hits the second, and here comes your subs. Morgan alluded to it. Maddie Ward coming in for Westwood, and into the game for Northampton is Abby Zhu. No, forgive me, that's Michaela Fidenkevich, number 23, the sophomore.
Tom, what Maddie's been able to do for the Wolverines is she helps with the handle. It allows Charlotte to get free to do catch-shoot. Opens up the offense a little bit, so keep an eye on that. She's working it up the court now.
3 free throws from Calkins has made this a 10-2 Northampton lead. 3:30 to go here in the first quarter. Ward looking to inject some life into this offense just like she did on Friday. Over to Hurley, who's got a clear lane to the hoop. She throws it up lefty. Kaiser, another jump ball. This one back to Westwood. So both teams very aggressively going after these loose balls. You love to see it.
Absolutely. Kaiser just a mammoth on rebounds, loose balls. Went after that one, earned the possession.
Caroline Nazalillo's going to throw it up short, but Kaiser is there, and she draws the foul. She's going to be shooting 2.
Joe Fabiano in the building.
And that foul is going to be called on Anna Oravec. First foul on Northampton. Both teams have 1. We're 3:15 on the clock here in the first quarter. Kaiser's first free throw is good to Mackenzie Kaiser.
I don't think she missed one the other night. She had about 5 because she had a couple and ones in there.
Only Wolverine on the board here so far. Got the first 4 points for Westwood, and it's a 10-4 ball game. 3:15 to go here in the first quarter. Coming out aggressively again on defense with Hurley and Ward. But Heafy able to break, turn around, gets it inside to Oravec, throws it up off the glass too hard, and here comes Westwood with a chance to cut into the 6-point lead. Ward gets it to the foul line.
A foul on Northampton.
This one's going to go against Oravec again, so that's her second foul in just a matter of seconds. She's going to find a seat on the bench, replaced by the sophomore Liv Joensen. Charlotte Hurley taking it to the rack, throwing it up. A little hard off the rack, but she might get the rebound, and she does. Loose ball. Maddie Ward up top to Mackenzie Kaiser, who gathers it in, right-handed, too hard off the glass.
Good looks, good looks. Loose ball on the court.
Another loose ball. This one's going to go to Northampton. We've seen 4 balls tied up.
And was that a timeout called, or was it a jump ball?
No, it's a jump ball.
Okay.
So it goes to Northampton.
So we'll go back to Westwood on the next one? Yep, perfect.
Bree Heafy over to Tegan McDonald. McDonald's a senior starter. Gets it to the foul line, then back outside to Bree Heafy. Heafy working against Nazalillo. Inside, a lot of traffic. 10 seconds to shoot, and that's going to be a long one. Bounces off the iron. Northampton comes up with a rebound, but misses the follow, and here comes Caroline Mazzalillo taking it the other way.
With authority.
She's like, someone take the ball from me.
She had enough of that, all those rebounds.
Here comes Kaiser to the rack, up and off the glass. And Mackenzie Kaiser has 6 points, all of them for Westwood. We're under 2 minutes to go. It's 10-6, Northampton on top.
Cause turnover.
Ball out of bounds, goes to the Wolverines. So into the game comes Angelina Holmesy, re-entering, this time for Mazzalillo, and Julie Hogan making her initial appearance of tonight's ball game.
Julie Hogan, the Eddie House factor of the 2008 Celtics. You could see threes from all over and very quickly, so keep an eye on her, folks. Very talented sophomore for the Wolverines.
Holmesy gets it to Kaiser. Kaiser hoping to get some of her teammates involved offensively. This goes to Holmesy, who draws the foul. Beautiful. I think she was looking to pass that, but she might end up on the line. Let's take a look. That foul goes on Tegan McDonald. And they are going to give her a couple of shots. They're going to talk about it, though. All right, overruled. The official who initially called the foul called it a shooting foul, but
yeah, it seemed to be a pass.
It did seem to be a pass, so I think ultimately the officials got that one right. Maddie Ward gets that out to Mackenzie Kaiser. Looks to save it, put it in the book as a turnover, and will Northampton capitalize? Behind the back, a lot of fancy dribbling, a long distance shot. Too hard, off the back of the rim. But the rebound is gathered in by McDonald, who follows it with a layup. So 1:18 to play, and it's 12-6 Northampton. Maddie Ward over to Charlotte Hurley, who'll line up her first three of the night. Rattles it! Charlotte Hurley draws the Wolverines within 3, 12-9 as we go under a minute in the first quarter.
In golf, you call that members bounce. You got the home bounce there.
And some great defense as well by Hurley there. It stays with Northampton, but it certainly disrupted the flow and saved the layup from being shot. Inside open player is number 23, Michaela Fidenkevich, and she has her first 2 points of the game.
They've been finding that look right underneath the hoop, using the glass.
Holmesy's pass goes out of bounds, so with 38.9 to play here in the first, Northampton sitting on a 5-point lead will get at least one more shot at the hoop. Break the press. About 3 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock. They could take it down to about 3 if they wanted to shoot. Ball comes to the right wing. It's going to be McDonald who gets it out, and ultimately to Bree Heafy, who throws it up from the free throw line, and that's a good bucket for the Blue Devils. So it's 16-9 with 12 seconds to go. Julie Hogan hasn't shot yet. 5 seconds on the clock.
3.
Holmesy's going to get it probably to Hurley.
1.
And that doesn't get a look at the net. So after 1 quarter of play, Westwood trailing 16-9. We'll take a break. We'll be back to talk about it right after this on Westwood Media Center.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Welcome back to Bader Gymnasium. Tom Lydon, Morgan Donahue, Evan Cardamino with you. We are 1 quarter into this group of 16 matchup. Northampton looking very impressive, guys, up 16-9.
Absolutely. I think Wolverines, the difference there, got to make some buckets. They were, they're throwing it to the hoop and getting some, some were air balls, but just getting some good looks, open looks. I think Northampton did a good job where they had a lot of open looks for three. They made them. But Westwood's been great at making adjustments. I'd expect they'll make one here.
Taking over the play-by-play for the second quarter, Morgan Donahue. Take it away.
Wolverines going to have the inbound. Weeman going to inbound it for the Wolverines. Got Ward there in to take the pass. Wolverines down 16-9 here to start off the second quarter. Ball picked off by Heafy, driving to the hoop, and that is good. Puts Northampton up 9.
Heafy now with 4 points. She scored that last bucket of the first quarter as well.
Ward looking for Nozzolillo. That ball's turned over. Going the other way is McDonald. McDonald going to hand it off to Heafy, and she'll settle it down. Coach yelling in the plays for the Blue Devils. This is 2 games in a row now, Evan. We've called away games with the team being Blue Devils.
Could be a 3-second call there on Northampton, so it's going the other way.
Perfect.
But yes, we covered the Leominster Blue Devils hockey round of 16 versus on Sunday night. What a late game, but it'll be interesting to see what the Wolverines can do against the Blue Devils here tonight.
Ward, miscommunication with Holmesy. Ball turned over. Driving to the hoop is Fidenkevich.
Fidenkevich, that's a tough one.
We're gonna need a redo on that one. Fidenkevich. And it's a foul, but it looks like it's on the Blue Devils. Gonna be Wolverine ball. Wolverine's got to chip into this Blue Devil lead. Down 9. You got to get the flow going. You also got players that can really make some big baskets. And Hogan, who's driving to the hoop, draws a foul. That's one thing I like about her game. You know, I think she's known for being a great shooter from the outside, but man, she can dribble and bring it right to the hoop, and she's not afraid of contact either. She draws that early foul. There's 2 quick fouls for Northampton.
Yeah, they're clearing up who this is called on. She signaled number 1, but there isn't a 1 out there.
Yeah.
Number 10. Okay, so that goes against Tegan McDonald. That's her second. So there's 2 on McDonald and 2 on Oravec.
The official's gonna just like talk it over. They're gonna.
Now they're talking about the points.
Points, okay.
So I've got them for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
Oh, it's on
they're correcting
4.
the foul. All right.
It's a foul on Calkins.
So now McDonald goes back to 1. Coach Messer also thought they might be up to 20 points, but that is not the case.
Weeman inbound to Nozzolillo up the top. Looking down low. Not able to connect with Holmesy. Ball in the hands of Calkins. Hands it off to Heafy. And she's going to work it off. She's got Hogan defending. Down low. So Johnson up top to Calkin. Calkin with Holmesy on her. Looking for a screen. Hands off to Heafy. Heafy driving, going lefty, down low. And that is good off the glass for Fidenkevich. 20, Northampton, Westwood 9. 6 minutes, 20 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Westwood needing some points here to chip into Northampton's lead.
They just seem out of sorts. Wouldn't be surprised, and here comes the timeout.
Yeah.
Exactly what they needed. They're just not comfortable.
Yeah.
Don't seem to be in the right headspace here so far. I thought that I saw a coach calling a timeout, but I guess they're just going to let him go.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Cliff on Saturday. She was at the hockey game, and she said there was a time where I thought a timeout was going to call, and she said, no, I believe in my players, and that is almost a confidence builder for your players when your coach doesn't, and just shows that she believes in you. And I think that's the case here. Yeah, there we go, turnover. Sends it up to Kaiser. Kaiser with 1 on, but able to put the brakes on, but loses the ball. Heafy driving to the hoop. Nozzolillo defending. Kaiser! Oh, and a travel called on Northampton. So great defense by the Wolverines. Force a travel to get the ball back in their hands. Down 11. Hurley gonna work it up. Goes across. Nozzolillo screen and sends it to Nozzolillo. Nozzolillo. Right back to Hurley. Hogan look to shoot. Drives in. Outside to Hurley. Hurley gonna drive it in. Outside to Hogan for 3. No good. Kaiser underneath the hoop, but a Westwood ball. Ball went out on Northampton.
You know, it stays with Westwood, but that very easily could have been called over the back as well.
Yeah.
And Northampton has taken away the paint for Westwood. They aren't able to get that ball in there like they have been and what they've done all season successfully. So, you know, when you take away that paint, you're forcing Westwood to take perimeter shots.
So timeout called by Northampton. Northampton 20, Westwood 9. We're going to step aside to hear from our sponsors.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance. And Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Welcome back, folks. Timeout called by Northampton. They have a 20-9 lead. Wolverines desperate for some points here, Tom. Who do you go to get the first one here?
Well, Morgan, Evan, what we're seeing is the recipe for how you win games like this, and that is by setting the tone defensively. And it's something we've talked about throughout this entire season. And when Westwood has been successful, it's because they have set the tone defensively. They have been the team forcing the turnovers. And right now, if you looked at the stat sheet, you would see that Northampton is way up in turnovers. And that has led to opportunities offensively. So that would be my focus right now from Coach Clifford. Figure out a way to get more defensive intensity that leads to turnovers.
Westwood almost embraces the full court press. The other night, Long Meadow opened up in that. Westwood was carving through it. So, you know, I think Northampton doing a great job. They're a well-coached team, making adjustments, doing switch-ups, getting Westwood a little confused, but Westwood a great team that makes adjustments themselves. Hogan down low to Nazalillo. Hurley outside for three. Off the front rim, rebounded by Fighting Kavitz. Heafy gonna work the ball up, sends it down low. Off the glass, no good. Kaiser coming away with the rebound. Finds Hogan, Hogan going to the hoop. Short, loose ball, picked up by Heafy. Heafy sends it over to Calkins. Calkins gonna try and go around Nazalillo, draws a foul and one.
That's a talented player. That's a player who could fight through contact, get it to fall. She has certainly proven to be one of the best players on this team.
A high IQ too. Holmesy coming in. Nazalillo gonna take a breather. And Calkins gonna shoot for the and one. And looking to put Northampton up 14. He does. Northampton with a 14-point lead, 4 minutes, 47 seconds remaining here in the first half. Early, working around the defender, driving to the hoop, a little too strong, rebounded by Northampton. Heafy sends it down low, off the glass is good. Orovic, they've been finding that play, whether it's been down low or inside the foul line. It's been a good look for them where it's either opened up a shot for the shooter or an open shot to the outside. Hogan driving the hoop, draws a foul.
What we're not seeing yet is the opportunity for Westwood to set their defense because they're not making enough shots. So every time Northampton's gaining possession of the ball, Westwood's scrambling to get back on defense, and Northampton's taking advantage of it.
Yeah. Love what Hogan did here, though. Gets opportunity to shoot two. First one, no good. Second one, no good. Kaiser battling for the ball, gets the jump ball, but it's going to go to Northampton. But great battle, great example set by the senior captain. She earned the next one. Northampton going to inbound it. McDonald gives it off to Heafy.
Important defensive possession right here.
Yes.
You do have the opportunity here to set that defense, so you got to make sure that
Westwood getting aggressive right now on defense. They got the athleticism to do it. Heafy setting up the offense. working some screens in the middle. And outside to Heidenkevich. And out of bounds on Northampton Westwood ball.
There's a good turnover.
Starts with that. So Weeman gonna inbound it. Hurley working it up the court. Both teams very vocal. Giving defensive instructions, offensive instructions. Holmesy, nice move. Looking for Hurley. Ball was going out of bounds. She keeps it in bounds, but a turnover on the inbound. Oh, Kaiser intercepts it. Sends it up to Hurley. A little bit too strong, goes out of bounds. Wolverines just a little bit off right now. The effort's there. Just the execution's just missing by a little bit.
Just a matter of taking a deep breath at this point.
And the
so
Wolverines with the timeout.
You can't make up a 16-point lead with one basket.
Yeah.
So you got to chip away. You got to be strong defensively. You got to force some turnovers. You got to take advantage of the opportunities that you do get, and that's every layup, every free throw, and that's something we've been talking about since December.
Yeah.
I think what it also comes down to is you got to protect the ball in the paint.
Yeah.
You know, they're driving in, and what Northampton does a really good job of is they can get 2 or 3 kids on one player when they go into the paint. And you see Westwood, they're starting to kind of kick it back out and to get a perimeter shot, maybe a pull-up jumper or a three-pointer. But, you know, can you find an open lane that maybe when Northampton crowds you, someone else drives to the paint? I'm no basketball expert, but, you know, my first impression is that Northampton has a great defense.
Yeah. I mean, their offense is great, too. They find these players down low where if they're open, they'll obviously go off the glass, you know, go for a quick shot. But they've been doing a good job of sending it back outside, finding Calkins for 3. And, you know, when you're getting open looks, they're going to go down a lot more percentage-wise than those contested shots. And Westwood's shots have been more contested than Northampton. So some open looks, I think, would be the goal right now for the Wolverines, and then some big defensive stops. You got to get back in this game. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the half. Northampton with the ball and a 16-point lead. Northampton working it around. Heafy leading traffic. Sends it over to McDonald. Back to Heafy. Heafy to Calkins in the corner. Off the back rim, loose ball, she jumps on it, and a foul called on Hurley on the court. A lot of communication going on the court. Northampton with the inbound. Calkins got Kaiser in her face, sends it down low. That was no good. Second attempt, no good. Loose ball picked up by Northampton, but Weeman with the steal gets the jump ball, and it's a Westwood ball. That's the kind of effort you need when you need some momentum. She draws it.
And at this stage, I know that we've gotten so much leadership over the course of this season from Charlotte Hurley and Mackenzie Kaiser.
Hurley gets him back on the board and gets Bader loud.
That's so important to get hoops from her, but it's also important to not neglect the other people on the court. You got to see Hogan heat up. You got to see Weeman heat up.
Oh, Calkins worked it right in, went off the glass, and answered Hogan's shot. Hurley's too. Hogan working it up. She gets fouled. That's the 4th team foul for Northampton. Next one will be buckets for free throw attempts for the Wolverines.
And that's Orvek's 3rd. So
wow,
they have a deep bench,
yep.
But that is the first player who's sniffing foul trouble here with 2:27 to play in the first half.
Hogan with the inbound. Hurley working it across. Finds Shea. Shea back to Hurley. And I believe a foul called on Northampton. That's the 5th. That is going to be the 5th, and we're going to see some free throws here. Olivia Shea. I saw her aunt, Cheryl Shefferdini Gaba, in the stands, who was a legend for Westwood girls basketball in 1991.
When you're chipping away, every single one of these you can score with no time coming off the clock is critical.
First one, no good. Second one is good. 15 17-point lead for Northampton. 2 minutes, 18 seconds left here in the first half. Heafy working it up court. Wolverines in zone defense right now. Keeping the ball to the outside. They're looking inside to Johansson. No good. Shea comes away with the ball, and they're going to say jump ball. Oh, it looked like it was in her hands, and only her hands, but they're going to say jump ball. It's going to be Northampton possession.
Coach Cliff looking for a travel on that play. Can't say I disagree. It wasn't called.
Inbound by McDonald. That's an inside to Radenkiewicz. Heafy makes a move, trying to tiptoe underneath the hoop, and then the put away by Johansson puts Northampton back up 17. Hurley driving, goes off the side of the hoop. Kaiser with the rebound, sends it to Hurley. Yes! Westwood just keep getting buckets like that. The crowd is going to get louder and louder. Use it to their advantage. But as we mentioned, Northampton is very familiar here with Westwood. They played here a couple years ago. Shea with the steal, and then a foul drawn, and shots. Going to be at the free throw line for, I believe, Shea.
And that's the third one on Johansson.
Oh, not going to be Shea. We'll see who shoots. Oh, Shea is going to shoot.
Couple subs waiting to come in here. Got Nazalillo and Ward getting set to check in for Westwood, and then Amani Power Green, the junior for Northampton, getting her first opportunity here after the first shot.
No good on the first. Second one, no good. Loose ball. Rebounded by Calkins. She draws a foul. The foul on Kaiser. It's Westwood's third team foul and Kaiser's first personal foul of the game. And then we're going to see our first look of Amani Power Green on the court, number 3 for the Blue Devils. Heafy working it up court. Over to Calkins. 1 minute remaining here in the first half. Heafy spinning, cutting, driving, no good. Hurley comes away with the rebound. He's got a couple bodies in there, was trying to weave through traffic, but ball knocks loose. Heafy gets the turnover. Ward, tight defense on Heafy. Oh, Nazalillo nearly caught, and she does get the jump ball, Westwood ball. Great effort by senior captain, two-time captain, Caroline Nazalillo.
Incredible the amount of jump balls we've seen here tonight. This is more than we've seen probably the whole season.
Hit the over in the first quarter. Hurley working it up court. She's got 32 seconds and counting. Driving, lefty, yes! 13-point lead for Northampton. Westwood slowly chipping away. The Den and the Bader crowd getting louder and louder on each basket. Westwood looking to give them more reason, and they get a rebound. Hogan driving. He's got Hurley turn right. Rebound no good, but out on Northampton. Gonna be in 1.7 seconds. Can they get a quick pass shot? We'll see. Hogan on the inbound. And a turnover to Heafy. Heafy trying to send it down court. No good, but a good finish for the Wolverines to cut into that lead. They're within 13. Northampton up 29-16 on the Wolverines. Evan, Tom, any final thoughts here in the first half?
Well, Westwood's got to find something offensively to help get them bring this game with them back. They started to find their offensive rhythm late there in the second, but this is still a 13-point game. I think Westwood needs to work on finding where Northampton's defense has that weak spot and exploiting it. Once they can do that, they can start to bring this back. I think they're finding their rhythm, and I'm excited to see what they can do here in the second half. But really, that's going to be my key for Westwood going forward. And if for Northampton, the key for them is to just keep that defense going. They are getting turnover after turnover. They're controlling the paint both offensively and defensively. If they can continue doing that, they're going to be cruising to the round of 8.
The reality of playoff basketball, playoff hockey, playoff whatever sport you're talking about is that you just have to minimize mistakes.
Yeah.
You cannot play a game that is filled with mistakes and expect to move forward. And we saw a lot of mistakes from Westwood, whether it was missed layups, missed free throws. That has to change. Yeah. Otherwise, this next half we're about to watch will be the last half we see from them this year. And we know they're capable.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen. Yeah. We need to see some of the younger players be given opportunities and take advantage of them. I loved seeing Julie Hogan going down the lane there as time expired, because I would have liked to see her get on the board, get her heated up, get Lizzie Weeman heated up a little bit. Right now, it's been Mackenzie Kaiser and Charlotte Hurley really carrying the weight.
When a Weeman and a Hogan and a Ward is chipping away points, it gives so much confidence to Hurley and Kaiser where they don't feel that pressure, and they're loose. And when you have that complementary basketball, they're playing their best. The other night, Westwood scored, I believe, 11 points in 40 seconds. It was steal 3, steal 3, steal and 1, 2.
And this is a team that can turn it on like that. You know, we saw in the last game, we saw 67 points. This is a team that can score fast and score quickly. Yep. It's just a matter of finding that rhythm, and like you mentioned, Tom, minimizing mistakes, not letting those turnovers happen. And the other thing that we haven't really talked about is getting the rebounds underneath. Northampton, when they're on offense, they are getting their second and third and even fourth rebounds. And Westwood's not getting down there, and that's resulting in easy layups for Northampton. If Westwood can get those rebounds and, just get their chances back, they can get the ball back and minimize, the rebounds.
Well, stick around, folks. Northampton up 29-16 on the Wolverines. You are watching Westwood Media Center coverage of the round of 16. We'll be right back for the start of the second half.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Welcome back to Bader Gymnasium, everybody. Tom Lydon, Morgan Donahue, Evan Cardamino with you. I want to talk to you briefly about the man you're looking at on screen, Perry Messer. He is already in the Massachusetts Basketball Hall of Fame. Just a legendary coach. He and his family have been so involved with basketball out west for so long. Started at Pioneer High School. At one point, the boys went to 5 straight Western Mass finals. They won 2 state titles. They lost a third by 2 points. He took his team over the course of 75 games to a 72-3 record. They were 50-0 over the course of 2 years. And then he left Pioneer, and he really took over this program in Northampton, and at one point won a state title in the mid-2010s with one of his daughters as the star player. So this is a man who is no stranger to the postseason stage, and you can tell that his girls have stepped up and they are listening to his teaching, no question about it.
He seems like an encyclopedia of knowledge. I mean, just the calls alone, he's been yelling across the court. They've been receptive of. And it seems like he's certainly been there, done that for a while for them. And just all the accolades you said, super impressive.
I mean, you can tell by the way they play. This is a fast team, this is a strong team, and this is a smart team. They're playing well, they're controlling the game, and it shows in the score right now. They've gone to a dominant lead, and it makes sense when you see a coach like that who has had a legendary career. What a record, 72-3. That it takes a lot. We know firsthand here in Westwood with the likes of win streaks from Bill Riley and Kathy Delaney Smith. It is no easy feat. So really impressive from the Northampton coach, and it makes sense why this is such a strong team here. 17-3 in the regular season, plus I believe a win in the postseason in the round of 32. This is a good team.
Let's run down the scoring. Leading the way for Northampton through the first half is Emma Calkin. She had 13 points, including a three-pointer. Bree Heafy has 4, Tegan McDonald with 2, Liv Joensen with 2, Anna Oravec with 4, and Michaela Fidenkevich has 4. Now on the flip side for Westwood, leading the way is Charlotte Hurley, who had 9 points, including 1 three-pointer. Mackenzie Kaiser with 6, and Olivia Shea with 1, and that is it.
Yeah.
16 points on the board offensively for Westwood, so got to get some more people involved, and I think sometimes that comes with some scrappiness underneath the basket, getting some offensive rebounds and follow-up shots.
Quick turnovers, 2 fast breaks. The Wolverines, what, Evan? First quarter last week, or on Friday, 25 points?
25 points in the first quarter, 10 and 10 in the second and third, and then I'm no mathematician, but whatever the remaining is, I think 22 points as well in the fourth. So, you know, points can come fast for Westwood, and that's going to be key for them here in the second half of this game. You know, can you start to get some buckets? Can you start to get something down below the hoop or in the perimeter? We haven't really seen much of that game. You know, Julie Hogan has had a couple big three-point games we've seen in the past. Lizzie Weeman as well. So, be interested to see Westwood's strategy come out here in the third quarter here. If they're going to continue to try to drive to the paint, if they might take more perimeter shots, it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen a three-point made for the Wolverines yet, so that would be something, you know, definitely look for in the third quarter. But I'm going to send it off to Tom Lydon to take over the play-by-play duties here for the third quarter.
Morgan, thank you very much. Madison Ward, Charlotte Hurley, Angelina Holmesley, Caroline Nazalello, and Lizzie Weeman will be your starting five for the Wolverines as we get underway here in the third quarter. 29-16, some important defensive possessions for the home team right out of the locker room. Let's see how they respond. They come out in a zone defense. We'll see how Northampton works against that. They've been getting some good opportunities under the hoop against the man-to-man, so Coach Cliff making a adjustment right out of the shoot. And there's another good look underneath, with a block this time by Angelina Holmesy.
And a jump ball, Wolverine ball. Great effort, Angelina Holmesy.
Every defensive possession so critical at this point. Now you got to capitalize on it on the other end. Charlotte Hurley will set it up. Northampton coming out man-to-man. Nazalillo going to work. Goes to the hoop, throws one up.
There we go.
Gets the contact. Emma Calkins, her second foul of the night.
And if you get Nazalillo going, that's going to get the rest of the offense going. That's how it started the other night.
You know, it's interesting listening to your post-game interview with Caroline. You know, she acknowledged, she's like, you know, earlier in the season I wasn't hitting some of those shots.
Yeah.
Said, Friday night she was.
Yeah.
And you're right.
She used to be, you could see the frustration in missing it, and I think at some point she just didn't put that pressure on her, and then when she didn't think about it, they were starting to go in.
Both free throws no good from Naz, and Northampton comes up with the rebound. Bree Heafy, as Westwood now shifts, still in the zone. Another block by Holmesy. Loose ball,
and that's out on Northampton. Beautiful.
That's what you need defensively, though, if you're Westwood. Get those stops and get the ball turned over.
Den starting to come to life, trying to give the girls a boost. Ward gets it inside to Nazalillo. Hurley takes it to the hoop, cannot get the layup to fall. Northampton with the rebound. That's going to be Calkins, back out to Heafy. Heafy swings it left over to McDonald. McDonald again from three-point range. And she gets that one to fall.
She was open.
Tegan McDonald, first three-pointer of the night, makes it 32-16. Northampton has doubled up Westwood. Time to start chipping away. Madison Ward taking it into the paint and outside to Nazalillo, who now drives. Up and off the glass and good. Caroline Nazalillo.
Needed that. Huge. Back to 14. Oh, that looks like a travel. Nope.
Northampton trying to figure out what to do against this zone defense. Pump fake by Heafy, throws one up, short, but rebounded. And then a foul, a push on Caroline Nazalillo.
How about the anticipation there by Calkins? Saw that it was not going in, went up and got it like a defensive back going up to get the ball at the highest point there. Able to come down with the possession.
Caroline Nazalillo will head to the bench. That's her third personal foul, so 6:06 to go here in the third quarter. Westwood chipping away, still down 32-18. Northampton 30 seconds to shoot, a lot of time. Heafy goes behind the back, weaving her way through, but it's blocked by Kaiser. Hurley looking ahead to Angelina Holmesy. Over to Madison Ward off the glass and in.
Beautiful passing by the Wolverines. Unselfish play by Holmesy. She knew Ward had a better look. Ward with the finish.
See if the floodgates might be unleashed here a little bit.
12 points. It's been the smallest lead for a while.
They've extended that zone. It's not necessarily man pressure. Mackenzie Kaiser comes up with a turnover ahead to Hurley. Charlotte finishes it off. A couple of quick points for the Wolverines. And it's a 10-point game, 32-22 with 5:18 to play.
All caused by some great turnovers by the Wolverines.
Heafy gets it to Calkins. That's the hot shooter, but not this time. Bounces hard off the iron, and a foul is going to be called. This one against Angelina Holmesy. It's going to be Holmesy's first foul of the night. The second team foul, 5:06 on the game clock, third quarter, and Northampton retains possession.
Man, how big were those Holmesy blocks early on?
And a turnover forced again.
Big.
This time Lizzie Weeman with the reach. Gets it ultimately in the hands of Madison Ward. She's going to take it to the hole. Kaiser, Weeman between defenders. Gets the foul and does not get the shot to fall.
Kaiser's in that mode right now where she's like, give me the ball, see what I do with it. She was seeing the hoop on that drive.
Michaela Feidenkevich called for the foul.
Timeout.
Coach Messer calling the timeout for Northampton. That's the first time he's done that, so trying to settle his girls as this lead has been cut to 10.
So we got a shooting foul, right? So Kaiser gonna shoot 2 here.
Kaiser's on the line shooting 2.
She's been probably their best free throw shooter all playoffs so far. I believe she was like 5 for 5 the other night. She's 2 for 2 on the free throw line tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier in the game, Mackenzie Kaiser, what she did really well too is, she drove the hoop to draw those fouls, but they were just falling the other night for her. She had, I believe, 3 and 1 opportunities for Westwood, and that was big for Westwood because she capitalized on 2 of those 3. So Mackenzie Kaiser is dangerous from the free throw line, and this is big for Westwood. They finally found a bit of a groove, and they're working on it here. And they've cut this down to within 10, and good to see what momentum Westwood can continue to carry.
A little bit of a switch defensively where, yes, it's a zone, but it's a pressure zone where the guards are coming out and putting some pressure on Heafy, who's trying to run the offense, but they're trying to protect themselves from those penetrating dish layups that Northampton's been getting throughout the night.
Heafy, big on the behind the back. It's been the go-to.
Kaiser continues her hot streak from the free throw line, now 3 for 3. She's up to 7 points on the night, 32-23 ball game. Westwood, after that one, has cut it to an 8-point game, so 32-24. Exactly the start that Coach Clifford was hoping for here in the third quarter. Ward's going to step out, pressure Heafy. That ball ultimately ends up with McDonald into the corner to Calkins. Calkins out top to Heafy, who throws up a three-pointer. Too hard, but Northampton comes up with the rebound. 2 bodies on the ground.
Loose ball.
There's another jump ball forced by Holmesy.
Tom, that's got to be a Tom Lydon point there for Holmesy.
No question about it.
She is
anytime there's a body on the ground, it qualifies.
unafraid.
Northampton trying to get something going here. They've just got that 1 basket so far in the third quarter. There's Heafy gonna heave one up from way downtown, and it falls. Bree Heafy, the senior, with her first 3-pointer of the night, and that makes it 35-24 Northampton. Charlotte Hurley coming the other way, over to Madison Ward. Ward between the legs to Kaiser. Ball over her head, looking for some guidance from the bench. Plays off the pick from Holmesy to the hoop. But a great defensive play by Northampton.
Thought that would have been a foul. That was a beautiful spin to cut the D. Driving to the hoop. Holmesy
stays with Northampton.
Tom, you said once during the volleyball season, every winning team needs a Megan Greeley, and every winning team needs an Angelina Holmesy. The intangibles she brings
just
to
some
winning
grittiness.
culture.
Need some grittiness. Got to keep this defensive pressure up here, particularly after they made that 3-pointer at the last possession. Critical point here to keep it within reach. It's an 11-point game, 3:40 on the clock. Heafy's got possession of it.
the aggressive
Picks
point
up
guard
the dribble.
move.
That's Tegan McDonald, who's going to swing it across to Emmy Calkins.
8 on the shot.
It's going to be
5,
Heafy. Looking
4,
inside to Joensen.
3.
That's going to be
Short.
McDonald up short.
No good.
And that is a
Here we
shot
go.
clock violation.
Big turnover for the Wolverines.
3:18 to play. Both teams at 2 team fouls. It's a 35-24 game. Westwood's got Hurley, Weeman, Ward, Mackenzie Kaiser, and Olivia Shea on the court. Ball goes off Kaiser's face, and she turns around and takes it to the hoop. Cannot get the layup to fall. Got to be careful about not fouling there after that.
Beautiful move to cut to the hoop.
Under 3 minutes to go. Heafy loses control, but it's corralled by her teammate. Gets it back, a great pass over to Calkins, and Calkins finishes it. Calkins now up to 15 points after that layup, and Coach Clifford's going to take a timeout. 37-24 is our score with 2:49 to go here in the third quarter.
We're going to step aside real quick for a quick message from our sponsors.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance. And Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Big thanks to Cadillac of Norwood and Arch Orthodontics for their support throughout the basketball season and throughout all of the sports seasons. Can't do what we do without you, and it's much appreciated. Tom Lydon, Morgan Donahue, Evan Cardamino with you. 2:49 on the clock in the third quarter. Westwood trying to chip away at a 37-24 Northampton lead. Madison Ward gets it to Mackenzie Kaiser. Kaiser double teamed, ball off Northampton's leg. That's going to stay with Westwood. 20 seconds on the shot clock.
I'm feeling a big bucket here from Hogan.
Lizzie Weeman will inbound it to Hogan, who thinks about it but gets it inside to Olivia Shea. Boom! And Olivia Shea gets it to fall off the glass.
Huge bucket for the junior.
Some pressure zone defense again from the Wolverines. This time shifting more over to a man-to-man. Nope. Shot from Heafy. She's hit it one from three-point range. That one does not go. Rebounded by Northampton. The follow doesn't fall either. Mackenzie Kaiser gathers the ball with the defender behind her over to Weeman. Lizzie Weeman back to Kaiser. The ball is going to go out of bounds. Originally tipped by Northampton before Mackenzie got her finger on it, but by the time she was able to touch it, it wasn't a direct pass, and it went off her hand. So Northampton sitting on a 37-26 lead with 1:59 to go here in the third. Heafy's going to get it to Calkins, and Calkins' three-pointer is too hard off the rim.
Hogan.
Julie Hogan running the break.
Hogan alert. Oh!
Goes to the basket, and that has to be called a foul, and it is. Julie Hogan's going to be shooting two as that foul is called against number 4, Emmy Calkins. So their leading scorer now has 3 fouls.
Also props to Abby Law on that play there. You're watching,
Yeah.
you'll see it in the replay. She got a hand in there and actually
Yep.
tipped it to Hogan.
Great rebounder Law is, and it's
Julie Hogan a little hard off the back iron. Charlotte Hurley back in the game for Westwood as Lizzie Weeman goes to the bench. In for Northampton is number 13, Anna Oravec. Oravec with 4 points in the first half. Julie Hogan looking to get on the board for the first time tonight. And she does with a free throw that rattles its way home. So 37-27. We're approaching 1:40 to play here in the third quarter. Northampton working it around this zone defense from Westwood. Into the foul line, outside to McDonald. McDonald inside to Feigenkevich, who's going to make the decision to shoot and draw the foul. Julie Hogan is whistled. It's Julie's first foul, and headed to the line, shooting 2, is going to be Michaela Feigenkevich. Michaela misses the first one. She has 4 points so far tonight, all of those 4 in the first half. Northampton's only had 8 points so far in this third quarter, but that's their 9th, and that makes it a 38-29-27 game. Ball goes out of bounds. You mentioned, Evan, that Abby Law is in for Westwood. First action here in the third quarter.
Tom, the highest three-point percentage shooter on the Wolverines, Abby Law.
Smart play there, too.
Very smart.
Right off the defender's leg, so 22 to shoot. She had herself in trouble, trapped by a pair of Northampton defenders. But Westwood able to maintain possession and maintain control of the ball. Charlotte Hurley works inside over to Nazalillo. A little up and under, but then back out to Julie Hogan. Over to Kaiser with 12 to shoot. She looks for Nazalillo, but the ball is ultimately intercepted by Northampton, who's coming the other way with it. Tegan McDonald over to Bree Heafy inside. That ball a little hard off the rim.
Rebound.
Westwood with 43 seconds to play has an opportunity to cut into this lead. Hurley's going to take it to the rack, and that's going to fall. So Charlotte Hurley makes it a 9-point game, 38-29 as we approach 30 seconds in the third quarter. Charlotte Hurley now into double digits with 11 points.
Single-digit lead for the first time since the first quarter.
20 seconds to go. Shot clock is off. Northampton can take this down to the third quarter buzzer. Heafy over to Calkins. They're just playing a game of catch. Little pressure from Hurley. Now Nazalillo on Heafy. 6 seconds, and Heafy heaves a long one. No good, but the rebound ends up with Calkins, and there's going to be a foul. So 1.9 on the clock. Abby Law is going to pick up her first foul of the night, and that's going to send Calkins to the line. Calkins with 15 points so far. A rare miss.
That's big.
Calkins has been very smooth from the line. You remember she was fouled on a three-pointer in the first half. She hit all 3.
The saran wrap is still there.
What happens here? You do have 1.9 on the clock.
Big, huge.
Hogan's going to throw it up from almost three-quarter court. Comes up a little short. That would have set this crowd into a tizzy.
Goodness.
But we're through 3 quarters here at Bader Gymnasium. It's 38-29. The Wolverines trying to chip away at that lead. They've got 9 to make up as we turn our attention to the fourth quarter, guys.
Yeah, I mean, good for the Wolverines. They finally got it to within single digits. They got momentum on their side now. From just experience and just seeing them play, fourth quarter is usually their best quarter basketball. I'm expecting it here from them, right now.
Well, I mean, if history is any indicator, we saw a couple slow second and third quarters in the last game, but that fourth quarter, they scored 22 points to put it away against Longmeadow.
Yep.
Anything can happen, and they've started to find their rhythm. We talked about it at halftime. Can you find an offensive rhythm? Can you find where you're getting those shots? And Westwood has found it. They're kind of getting into the paint, which we talked about earlier, and now they're starting to kind of take advantage of that. So if Westwood can keep their foot on the gas pedal, they can make this a really good game.
So the first quarter, Northampton outscored Westwood 16-9. The second quarter, Northampton outscored Westwood 13-7. They took a 29-16 lead into the locker rooms. But that third quarter was owned by Westwood. They took it 13-9. And we'll see if that momentum can continue. And here to call the action, the voice of Westwood High School sports, Mr. Morgan Donahue.
All right, folks, buckle up. Fourth quarter, do or die. Wolverines down 9. Hogan inbounds to Law. Back to Ward. Ward working it inside. She's got 3 on her. Nazalillo up top. Nazalillo, a couple spin moves. Got Hogan open. Hogan looked to shoot, holds onto it, and a turnover off the hands of Nazalillo. That'd be a Northampton ball.
I give Northampton a lot of credit. They haven't given Julie Hogan an opportunity to shoot. I mean, every time Julie Hogan's in a position where she might put up a 3, Northampton's right in her face.
There we go, I love it. Westwood defense getting aggressive, putting the pressure on, and a foul called. A foul on Hogan. That's their first team foul here in the 4th, and it is the second personal for Julie Hogan.
So Hogan has 2 and Nazalillo has 3 as we start this 4th quarter for Westwood. On the flip end, we got Liv Johansson with 3 and Anna Oravec with 3 for Northampton.
Efi going behind the back. Over to Calkins. Calkins off a screen by Oravec. Stolen by Nazalillo. Drive into the hoop. Yes! 7-point lead.
Nazalillo gathered herself, knew exactly how important that layup was, and she wasn't going to miss it.
Tom, how about that poise from Nazalillo? Westwood ball and a turnover.
Very close to a 5-second on the out of bounds, and then a travel was called on Calkins, so Westwood got a chance to really get this down to either 6 or 5.
Ward on the inbound. That's Nazalillo. Back in the hands of Ward. Inside to Nazalillo, holds, gives it to Hogan. Hogan working inside, outside of Law. Law back to Hogan. Finds Law driving. That is blocked, but gonna stay with Westwood.
Yeah, Abby a little bit overmatched there by Liv Johansson. A little bit of a size advantage for
I like the movement though. You know, they're forcing Northampton to make adjustments on D. Ball knocked out of bounds there by McDonald. Westwood gonna have the ball on the inbound with 20 left on the shot. So Ward into Hogan. Nazalillo, the only starter on the court right now. Wolverines looking to create some momentum with their bench right now. Ball knocked out again. Westwood ball, and it looks like 9 seconds on the shot. We got to be mindful here. Hogan working it right to left. Driving. Off the backboard! 5-point lead.
Crowd's coming to life, and here comes Charlotte Hurley at the next stop.
Tremendous job by the bench. The starters getting a breather, and a ball knocked out of bounds by Westwood. Wolverines getting 1 starter back. Hurley on the court. Great job, Abby Law. Terrific job by Abby Law. Senior leadership, while their starters are getting some rest, making some great looks for the Wolverines. Part of this momentum right now. Heafy working lefty. Ward gets a hand on it, but out of bounds.
Great defensive pressure by Ward. That ball did go off her leg, but you can just tell that Northampton is no way near as comfortable in the second half as they were in the first half.
Westwood appreciating the effort, getting claps after all of these efforts out there. Pass underneath the hoop, and that is put back for 2. Oravec, 7 points. 7-point lead for Northampton, 40-33. Hogan, little switch pass to Shea underneath the hoop, no good. Rebound by Oravec. She's got Hurley on her. And Hurley gonna go one-on-one with Heafy.
Critical defensive possession right here.
Up top to Calkins for 3 and buries it.
That's a big-time
And
shooter
a
right there.
timeout called by Northampton.
That is a big-time shooter right there.
Big time. That was deep as well, and confident shot and buried it. And a timely point in the game. You said this is they need to stop here, and boom, right back to a 10-point lead. Plenty of time though, 5 minutes, 40 seconds. We've seen Westwood score very quickly. We've seen them score quickly on those defensive stops on the transition. But I think it's a good time just to be able to go out now after this timeout and bring out all 5 starters. Bring them back on the court and get them cooking.
From a mental standpoint, when you're coming back, you have to remind yourself not to be satisfied. You can't be satisfied being down 5. You have to get not only to the tie, but then take the lead. How many times have you seen a team rally to tie, and then the opponent comes back the other way and steals that momentum right back? So that intensity has to remain, and you got to build on the energy of the crowd and really take that wind in your sails and finish off the job. And the job's going to be tough now, 5:40 to play, but they can do it. They just got to force the turnovers and not miss the easy shots.
Do or die. You ever see the movie Cool Hand Luke, Tom? Paul Newman just taking, punch after punch, and didn't quit. You got to have that in you here. It's do or die, fourth quarter, round of 16. Winner goes on to the round of 8. Hogan with the inbound. Wolverines down 10. Northampton 43, Westwood 33. Early. It's a Ward from downtown. That's no good. Rebounded by Northampton. Orovich had the rebound, gives it over to Heafy. Heafy setting up the offense. She's got Calkins again outside for 3. No good. Rebound by Nozzolillo. Big miss for the Wolverines. The ball knocked off the Northampton player. It looked like McDonald going to stay with Westwood. Hogan. She's got Heafy on her. It's an inside to Nozzolillo. Nozzolillo cutting. A jump ball. And that is going to go to Northampton.
And Northampton's trying to regain control of this game with their defensive pressure. And we've seen that the last few times down the court.
So a timely jump ball for Northampton. They have the ball in their hands. 10-point lead with 4 minutes 48 left in the game. Heafy directing traffic. She's looking up. She's got Calkins to her left. Calkins been a problem from the outside. Push it back to Heafy. Heafy, step back shot. No good off the back rim. Calkins underneath, but knocked loose by Hurley. Hurley comes away with the turnover. She's pushing the pace. Sends it outside to Hogan for 3. That's no good. Goes out of bounds. Going to be a Northampton possession.
That's the first look that Julie Hogan has had all night.
Yeah.
And she saw the opportunity and probably rushed it just a little bit because she wasn't used to seeing that window.
Yeah, yep. It's weird when you're used to seeing a hand in the face and you finally don't get one. And that is good for Calkins for 3. Put Northampton up 13. And a timeout called by Coach Clifford.
So Emmy Calkins had 13 points at halftime. That was just her 8th point of the second half, so she's up and over 20 at 21 points.
It's funny, when you see these teams coming in, Tom, there's always these 1 or 2 studs. And it's not just, they're putting 12 and 10. And they're putting 20 to 25 points up a game. So super impressive. And Westwood has those to match. When you got Kaiser and Hurley, they've had a couple 20, 25-point games this year. But we are under 4 minutes remaining. 13-point lead for the Blue Devils. Now you got to go up against the Blue Devils and the clock if you're Westwood.
I think it was 38-33, so Northampton has run off 8 straight points here.
Yeah.
Yep. Started with that long-range 3 from Calkins.
Yeah.
And you know what's unique about this situation is usually when we're in these similar situations we've seen in the past, the fouls have come into play. And right now in this 4th period, we've only seen 1 foul between either team, and that's on Westwood by Julie Hogan, her 2nd foul of this game. So fouls might not come into play here late in the game.
No, pretty much clean quarter. Lehman going to have the inbound for the Wolverines. They are down 13, under 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 58 seconds left in the game. Hogan finds Kaiser. Kaiser looking down low, then sends it over to Hurley, open for 3. Off the front rim, no good. Rebounded by Heafy. Heafy going to slow the pace, going to kill some clock. She's got a full shot clock, 26 seconds and counting.
To that end, every defensive rebound becomes important because
Yeah.
you don't want Northampton to get another shot to knock 35 more seconds off the clock.
Heafy working inside. Orvik, she gets fouled. She's going to go to the line. Well, that was, yes, Orvik, not Jones. Orvik going to shoot 2. First one is good. Second one no good. Kaiser with the rebound. Wolverines down 14, 3 minutes, 15 seconds remaining. Ball picked off by Heafy.
Great defense by Heafy there.
That was just a clean interception. Hurley working on Heafy. Heafy trying to go right. Turns around, it's gonna be a travel Westwood ball. Westwood with the ball. Northampton 47, Wolverines 33, under 3 minutes now remaining in the game. Hurley's got some space. Pulls out, puts the brakes on, give it to Nozzolillo, back to Hurley, nice move. Cuts it in, tries to go left, he draws a foul. And she's gonna shoot too. Try and get within 12.
Anytime you can get some points in this scenario with no time coming off the clock, that becomes your best friend.
Money. Second one no good. Ball loose. Kaiser comes away with it. He's looking for Nozzolillo, got loose, and then Weeman able to get her hands on it. Weeman dishes off to Nozzolillo, driving, and a travel call. It looked like both officials were looking at each other. The official down low looked like he wanted to call a foul, and then the official up top beat him to it by saying it's a travel. Madison Ward back in the lineup. Wolverines getting aggressive here. Full court press in action. Orovich, dishes over Heafy. Able to get it across half court. Calkins. Nozzolillo with the steal. She taken to the hoop, finds Kaiser, draws the foul.
Not an ounce of quit in this team.
Nope. They always have belief. No matter what the points total is, they always have belief. Looking to chip away again. And Kaiser, who has been so good on the free throw line, makes the first. 12-point game. Second one no good. Rebounded by Orovich. Orovich got some traffic around her. Did she step out of bounds or was it a foul? It looks like a foul.
It's going to be whistled on Charlotte, her third of the game.
Foul on Charlotte Hurley. Coming out of the game for Northampton is Orovich. Coming back in is Johansson. Heafy finds Johansson off the glass, no good. Nozzolillo going to be called for the foul.
You know, we mentioned a little earlier that foul trouble wasn't much of a concern earlier in this period, but there's been a lot of quick fouls now. Westwood's at their fourth.
Yep. Shooting two is Johansson. First one is good. That is Northampton's 48th point. Back to a 13-point lead. Second one is good. 14-point lead, 2 minutes and counting. Hurley, she's going to get fouled. That is foul on Johansson. The third team foul. Hurley into Hogan. Wolverines got to get some points quickly. They get them there. 2 points there and a timeout called by Coach Cliff.
Mackenzie Kaiser now up over 10 points. She's got 11.
Yep.
So 1:49 on the clock. You're down 12 at this stage of the game. I'm usually not a proponent of this. I usually say take the easy hoops, but down as much as you are, given how much Northampton's been able to answer every counter punch,
Got to make the threes.
you got to start making threes.
Yeah.
I rarely make that argument, but I'm making that argument in this game. So I'd be trying to figure out ways that you get your best three-point shooters open. That's Julie Hogan. That's Lizzie Weeman, who hasn't hit one yet today, and Charlotte Hurley.
I mean, I think that's the right strategy too, Tom. You haven't really gotten the three-point game in yet today, and Hurley, Weeman, Hogan, even put Madison Ward out there. She has had some big-time threes when they've been needed for Westwood. I agree with you. I think it's do or die for Westwood, and you got to give them respect. They have not given up this game. There's no quitting them. They're playing hard, and they're going to give it their all here in the last minute 49 of this game.
They are. These girls are warriors. The example they've set all year, how much respect and love they have for each other. Just a remarkable team to cover, and I'm expecting nothing but 150% effort here in the remaining 1 minute and 49 seconds. McDonald is going to have the inbound for the Blue Devils. Finds Heafy. Heafy dribbling up court. Hurley looking for a steal. Dishes off to Orvik. Back in the hands of Heafy. Wolverines double teaming, trying to get a loose ball. They send it inside Orvik. Orvik under the hoop and buries it. So 14-point lead for the Blue Devils. That was a big bucket by Orvik. Hurley driving, yes. Back to 12 points. And a quick foul called on Weeman. And that's their fifth. We're going to get some free throws here. And the uphill battle starting to set in here. They were down 12 with a minute and 12 seconds. Now 13 points. Coming back in the game is Johansson. Orvik gonna get a breather. Most likely finish on the bench. Heafy with her second free throw. And that's good. 14-point lead. Hogan with the ball. Inside to Kaiser. Hand off to Hogan. No good off the glass. Rebounded by McDonald. Heafy. Got a few Wolverines on her. And then Kaiser gets the steal. Kaiser driving. Oh, in and out. Loose ball. McDonald has it. Goes out of bounds. I think it's going to stay with Westwood. Yes. So we're going to be a Westwood ball with 49 and a half seconds. And a timeout called by the Wolverines.
No quitting these Wolverines,
No.
that's for sure.
No. What an example they're setting.
And also a big play there for that turnover. I think at some point there was a part of them where they were like, we're going to go for that foul there, but that ball got loose and they were able to capitalize on that opportunity.
I was coaching a hockey game 2 years ago, and Paul Dyson was one of my defenders. And the game was away. They were down, we were down 2 goals with like maybe 30 seconds left. And we had the empty net again. Just trying to find, desperate. You lose, it's do or die. And the game was over. Hopkinton was shooting on net. He went to block that shot, even though the game was over. Just like what an effort by a senior, just to make sure that his last remaining time on that court, he was going to do all the small things and set an example. And we're seeing that right now by the Wolverines. All these efforts right now to keep battling. Incredible. Hurley wide open, outside for 3. Off the front rim, Kaiser gets a hand on it. It's going to be out of bounds and a Northampton ball. We got a substitution. Orvik coming back in. Coming out is Johansson. Inbound by McDonald. Finds Heafy. Heafy gets fouled and going to go back to the free throw line.
Always impressive to see teams from different parts of the state. Northampton came into this one 17-4.
Yeah.
You don't really know who they played against or how good those teams are, but this to me seems like a squad put together by coach who knows how to handle a stage. Assuming Medfield's going to win and Medfield's the top seed, that's going to be an interesting matchup to see how those two teams pair up against each other.
Blue on blue. You have the powder blue and the Blue Devil blue.
This is a really talented Northampton team, and they're a fast team, they're a strong team, and today they've had a great game.
First one was no good. Second one, no good.
And you mentioned it too, Tom. This is a well-coached team. We talked about his resume earlier, and you know, this is a really well-coached team, and you can see it by their play. They just play smart, they play physical, and they play hard.
Hurley going to the hoop. That ball was knocked loose, out of bounds, going to stay with Westwood. 25.5 seconds remaining here in the game. The Wolverines still competing. Just an amazing example. Hogan driving, draws the foul, going to shoot 2. What an example the seniors have set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 seniors, including the team manager, Katie, you know, just amazing.
And we saw a lot this year as some of these seniors are going to get a nod as they come out of the game for the final time. Caroline Nazalillo and Charlotte Hurley and Mackenzie Kaiser.
Well deserved. Emotional experience when you see these girls coming off for the last time in a Westwood uniform. Certainly players that have changed the program for the better. And Heafy. Knocked out of bounds by Lehman. But those girls, these seniors, certainly going to be missed. What a fun season it was. Cover their games.
Charlotte finishes with 14 tonight and Mackenzie with 11.
Calkin's going to hold on to the remaining 2 seconds. 1. And that is going to do it here at Bader Gymnasium. Northampton 53-39 winners over the Wolverines in the round of 16, and they are going to go on to the round of 8 to most likely play Medfield. As Tom mentioned, will be an interesting matchup between 2 very, very talented teams. But Westwood, what a season for these girls. It was an absolute pleasure to watch them play. One of the most selfless teams you can watch for any team that we've called this year, and just a remarkable group of leaders and talented athletes.
The way it works, there's only one team in each division who ends this season celebrating a win.
Yeah.
And that's the nature of the postseason and the nature of the playoffs. But you alluded to the fact that with these girls created some great memories that they'll talk about for years to come. And they also laid the foundation for the 25-26 team, because we saw players who are going to be back here next year who are going to be making some significant contributions. Yeah. Julie Hogan, Lizzie Weeman among them. So I had a great time with you guys, and I appreciate you letting me be a part of our coverage throughout this basketball season.
Absolutely. No, thank you, Tom, and Evan, thank you, and Alex, appreciate your help tonight on the camera. That is going to do it here at Bader Gymnasium. Northampton moving on to the round of 8. Thank you, folks, for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one, and very shortly in the spring season as well.